Are you starting a property management company? Or maybe you started your company and you're in the first year or two of your business? Great. In today's video, I'm gonna walk you through the top 10 mistakes we see people make when starting a property management company so that you can avoid making these mistakes and fast track yourself to success. So without further ado, I'm gonna jump into it. The first mistake we see, and we see this all the time, is people focusing on too many strategies for growth at once. Follow one course until success. Focus. Basically, don't try to do everything very well, because what ends up happening is you do nothing exceptionally well. Follow one course, meaning one strategy, until you start to see success with that strategy before moving on to a second strategy. So to give you an example, if your strategy for growth is going to be using direct mail, focus on direct mail before getting busy with trying to optimize your social media channels, or before getting busy with trying to create videos for your business. Make sure that you have direct mail dialed in, are getting leads from direct mail, and then once you have that dialed in, you can start to focus on a second avenue for bringing in leads for your property management company. It doesn't have to be direct mail, this is just an example, but basically the overall concept is follow one course until you see success with that strategy. The second mistake that we see people make all the time is not creating standard operating procedures from day one. A lot of times you'll think, oh, it's just me right now in the business, I don't need standard operating procedures. But now is the best time to create them because you have the time to actually go and do so. So once you do grow and you need to hire somebody, you have those standard operating procedures in place, and it makes it much easier to scale your business. The third thing that we see people make the mistake of all the time is not investing in a proper website. A lot of times a company will be in existence for a year and they don't even have a website that's live, or they built something really quick that's like a one-page website. Now the issue with that is your website doesn't really get indexed in Google. If you don't have a proper website built from day one, your site won't get indexed in Google, and why that's an issue is later down the road when you are ready to start investing more heavily in your online presence, it's gonna delay your time to get traction, because it usually takes about 6 months to a year for your website to start to gain trust in the eyes of Google. So you don't necessarily have to start focusing on online marketing right away if that's not the strategy or approach you want to take for growth, but you should at least have a good website so that once you are ready to start investing in that approach, your website is indexed in Google and things can get moving in a much quicker manner. The fourth mistake that we see people make all the time is trying to go after a big metro market. Now, as an example, let's use San Diego. If you want to start a property management company in San Diego and your goal is to go after the San Diego metro market, you're gonna have a very difficult time because there's already hundreds of property management companies going after San Diego. What you're better off doing is choosing a specific sub area of San Diego, so maybe Chula Vista, for example, and focusing in on that area and becoming the dominant property management company for that local market. It's better off to be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in a big pond when you're first starting out, because it's gonna be very hard for you to gain traction in a big area. The fifth mistake that we see property management companies making all the time is thinking you'll provide a great service and clients will just come. Unfortunately, providing a great service is not even half the battle to getting clients to sign up for your services. What you need to make sure of is that you're constantly focused on your growth, especially when you're first starting out. Your number one priority should be on growth, being your marketing and your sales, to get clients actually signing up for your property management services. Solely providing a great service doesn't mean that people are gonna find out about your property management company. You need to get the word out so that people know that you offer property management services, so that you get people that are willing to actually reach out and eventually sign up for your services. The sixth mistake that we see people make all the time is thinking they'll grow their property management company solely off the back of paid ads. This is extremely difficult to do in property management unless you have a massive budget. The only companies we've seen this do successfully are venture-backed companies, and they literally have hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not $1 million per year to invest in paid ads. If you think that you're gonna go out there with a $20,000, even a $50,000 budget for solely running paid ads, you're gonna have a very difficult time in a lot of markets, because in a lot of markets, the cost per click for running ads is extremely expensive for property management. Generally, that's not the method that we recommend following when it comes to growing a property management company, because of the fact that it's become extremely expensive and saturated in most markets to run paid ads on Google for a property management company. The next mistake that we see people make all the time is not focusing in on getting reviews for your business from day one. Reviews are the lowest hanging fruit to get your business to that next level. In fact, if there's one thing I recommend focusing on when you're first starting out, it's getting reviews on Google for your property management company. These reviews are going to help people that are looking to hire a property management company decide which company they want to reach out to. What you'll find as your business grows is you're going to get negative reviews that come in, especially from tenants or even applicants that aren't approved for a property. They're often going to go and leave a negative review for your property management business. So it's super important that you focus in from day one on getting 5-star reviews for your property management company, so that eventually you can aim to be the highest rated property management company in your local area. The 8th mistake that we see people make all the time is trying to figure out everything on your own. There are tons of different services and consulting companies that you can hire for property management. You don't need to figure everything out on your own. You can go out and hire a consultant that's going to teach you what area you're lacking in. So for example, if you're lacking in running the operations for a property management company, there's literally property management consultants out there that can help you do that. All you'll have to do is pay them usually a one-time fee for a couple hours of help, and then they'll go ahead and basically let you know where your business might be lacking. So rather than trying to figure this out and spending, months or even years on getting the processes down properly, you can go out and hire somebody to fast track your success. So now instead of taking 2 years to figure something out, it'll take you a month because you've hired someone that's already been there, already done that, and they can feed you their knowledge. So really take advantage of that. That's something that's really nice in the property management industry, is there's a ton of expertise that you can lean on to get help to grow your property management company and to systematize your property management company as well. The 9th mistake that we see people make all the time is trying to focus in on too many properties at once. We have calls and they're like, we do single family, we also want to do multifamily, and we also want to add on vacation management. Calm down a little bit. Focus in on one type of property, get really good at managing that type of property, and then once you've grown that and have everything down pat and it's scalable, then if you want, you can decide if you want to focus on a second type of property like multifamily or vacation management or single family, depending on what the first type of property you decide to manage was. So it's really important that you get really good at servicing one particular type of property, because they all have their unique challenges and you don't want to go and basically spread yourself too thin. So keep that in mind. Focus in on one type of property to begin with, and over time you can gradually add on different types of properties that your company manages. Now, the 10th mistake that we see people make all the time is thinking everything is going to happen in year one. Year one is the most difficult year of starting any business, never mind a property management company, and to assume that after year one you're going to be managing hundreds of units is not super realistic. Now, it can happen. I'm not saying it's impossible, but try to set expectations that are realistic and that you can actually achieve. So rather than saying, by year one, I want to manage 300 units, try to look at it as by year one, I want to have a clear system to generate leads on autopilot for my business, for example, and try to set things a little more realistic. So rather than trying to manage 300 units, maybe after year one, your goal is to manage about 50 units. You'll be able to tell after the first couple months what's realistic. But the worst thing you could do is after a couple months say, you know what, I'm nowhere near 300 units. That's what I needed to, that's what my goal was. I must be failing. That's not a good way to look at it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Not everything will come in year one, but there's a compounding effect. And all of the efforts that you're making in year one will eventually pay off, maybe in year two, maybe year three, but eventually that hard work and that focus on creating a business that's really scalable is going to pay off, and eventually you will hit that goal of managing 300 and then 300 plus and 1,000 and 1,000 plus. So keep that in mind when you're starting out. It's very difficult in year one. It's the most difficult time of a property management company. So it's important to have realistic expectations so that you don't get down on yourself and you don't give up in your mission to start a successful property management company. So those are the 10 mistakes we see property management companies make all the time when first starting out. If you're starting out and you'd like to get more information about ways that you can grow your property management company, visit our website at upkeepmedia.com/growth and sign up for a growth marketing session. On that call, we're going to walk you through your local market, show you what other property management companies are doing to bring on more properties to manage. We'll take a look at your business and where you're at right now, and we'll give you recommendations that you can look to implement to actually grow your property management company. Thanks so much. See you soon.